All right, our speaker, Mike Donnelly, floor is yours.
Thanks, Mark. I think this speaker and presentation today is very relevant to me and hopefully you as well. As I am in commercial real estate and I got my start in economic development. I used to work at Chico Economic Planning Corporation, SEPCO, and our mission was to create jobs and more wealth for our community and prosperity, and hopefully that would have led to more services and better schools and just basic better quality of life for our kids and our future. And I always thought one of our greatest resources was Chico State, and specifically the Center for Economic Development, now called the North State Planning and Development Collective. And that's led by Executive Director Jason Schwenkler, who has more than 25 years experience in geographic information systems. And he also has a strong background in project management, strategic planning, leadership, and public-private partnerships. The North State Planning and Development Collective is very active right now. There are a lot of events coming up that Jason will tell us about, and hopefully they'll be fostering some new opportunities in Northern California. And I feel that with all that's going on in the world, we need economic development type activities now more than ever before. So please help me in welcoming Jason Schwenkler.
Hi, thank you, Mike. I believe I can share my screen and I will try to start this presentation. I might turn off my camera because I did get kicked off the meeting once. So I hope that will help with my bandwidth a little bit. Let's see, one sec here. Let's see.
Do you need any assistance with the sharing of the screen?
No, I think I was looking at which screen I needed to share. Do you see it now? It's coming up. Do you see my slides?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right, again, thank you, everyone. So I'll run you quickly through the North State Planning and Development Collective here at Chico State. We kind of reorganized as that in 2018 with input from our campus leadership. We are part of we're part of the 501c3, which most universities have an auxiliary which supports kind of really a lot of activities the university does in its service region. Our service region is at 12 counties. And let's see the next slide here. It goes. So we are the Center for Economic Development, the Geographical Information Center. Both organizations are over 30 years old. So we are independently funded. We pursue grants, contracts, fees for service. But we built, over the time, we built capacity for community support. And we are one of two Economic Development Association university centers that reside in California. So with that, we provide support to businesses, governments, research communities. And we are also our Upstate and Northeast California Connect Broadband Consortia, which are 11 counties, which almost overlap the 12 counties of the university region. Some of the things that we do within our very large region is project development and resources. We help take our faculty from traditional fundings like NSF or other type grants, and we align them with state agencies and local agencies to fund projects in different ways. We also regional outreach. We've really done a lot of community listening sessions, try to reach out to our farthest corners of our region, make good connections, start new conversations. We're really into trying to find where the gaps are and seeing where we can be helpful. We're also very nimble as our staff. So in the emergencies over the years, we were very quick to stand up business meetings or research and outreach to businesses that were impacted or displaced. And some of those times we just kind of launched the meeting, put together the data needed for those conversations, and then really stepped away. And some other things we do is also is the coordination of grant development and management. We do everything from help align funding streams to develop the grant, write the grants, and sometimes even step away at that point, or we go all the way to project implementation, aligning skills from staff, academia, and our many, many, many partners. Another part of us is the events we do. So the one coming up November 4, I really want to particularly talk about that one, because this one is, I think, what earlier mentioned. We have a team with Dr. Eiler, who comes up here quite often. He will do in our fall summits and then our economic summit in January. He kind of gives that national to California to the very local economic kind of update and forecast. So he'll do that again in November. That's a free event. You can go to that webpage on below and sign up for either one of those events. You can become a sponsor. You could check in to volunteer and see how it's, or just be connected and find out and get on our mailing lists for our quarterly newsletter, which has a lot of information in it, which I'll go into a little bit further in the next slide. So with this, though, on the events, we also do how these work is in 2018, we changed these events to really be, I wanted to see kind of that, the three pillars of what I thought our community really engaged in, which was education, industry, and government. So we try to make sure that the crowd is about a third of each of those. And we try to have a conversation around what we see the topic from our advisory board starts with. And so we started off in 2018 with workforce development, and then we've kind of evolved. And so what that does is we take the takeaways from the forecast, go into our spring summit, which we then focus on one of those main topics, and then into the fall summit, and it kind of feeds off itself to kind of guide what the next forecast conference will be about. And I believe this one is panning out to be more about real estate, commercial real estate, e-commerce, and I believe Mr. Donnelly is going to be one of our participants. So thank you, Mike, in advance. Another huge aspect that we do is outreach. And so that is part of that, kind of connecting decision makers, listening, and that's where I really found that some of those gaps that we really started to focus on. With that, campus leadership has asked us to kind of stay connected in the region, but also with California. So with that, we became members of the California Stewardship Network and California Broadband Council. And I was just a week ago appointed to the leadership team that will be working on the California Broadband Plan, just announced by the governor. So that really keeps us connected. Part of that we unfortunately got them to admit that they sometimes forget about us. So they were calling us the far, far north, and I was like, let's just call us Northern California. So we're engaged, and that's good, and it's good for our region. We bring resources, we bring ideas, we bring expertise from that has been doing a lot of economic development throughout the state, and we bring it to focus in there. So in our fall conference that I just mentioned, Ish is who's from California Forward, is going to also give an update, as well as the lead economic development from rural representatives of California counties, RCRC, which is representing 37 rural counties, which also includes all 12 of our counties in our CSU Chico region. Another part of us is internships. So we are connected to several colleges. So my background is started in the GIS and the geography department. We take geography students and really give them that first opportunity to take those skills that they learned in the classroom and put them to work in actual projects, moving projects, everything from service projects to research projects, and they get to assist, and then moving that on as the collective grew, economic developments, business students, computer science students, ag students. So we're really trying to get as many of the colleges involved as we can, because we have a very diverse portfolio. And we keep that network of alumni, which helps the organizations and helps our students find those first jobs beyond our internship. So it's a pretty good pathway. So with that, we have everyone going from the wider range from Google's to Apple to big commercial real estate to GIS firms to economic development and government jobs. So quickly go into the Center for Economic Development. So again, over 30 years old in a 12 county service region. They came into the collective in 2018, and it's really a complement to everything we were doing in just even the GIS. We do a lot of GIS in economic development. And so some of the things that CED can do to help is one of the big things we came out of that first conference, what we noticed is workforce gaps. We had industry saying, we need these workforce, we need this kind of training. And we had some education thinking they had maybe all those bases covered. And so what we did is we got them in, we got them talking. And from that, we started connecting with our community college regional directors. And with that, we started doing surveys of businesses in each sector. We started with ag and we're slowly growing it. And we're trying to do it statewide, where basically we find what positions can be up-leveled with some training within that same company, or which positions really need to go out or where they need training or where they need positions filled. And we have a Tableau data interface, which is kind of a database, interactive database that you can look for industries and you can find what training and where those trainings reside. If it's in the CSUs, any other four-year, if it's in just a training college or a community college, all those connections are there. Another thing we do is the regional profiles. We partnered with RCRC in 2019 to do all 37 of their counties. But we're thinking 2021 update is going to be a significant year. So I talked to them last week about doing that update. What's good for the regional profiles, it helps the county apply for funding. But we can also break that into other sectors. We can do that just for a downtown district. We can do that for really any region we wanted to. That's some of the data that we also feed up to Dr. Eiler when he does his regional economic update. Again, presenting in November 4th. And then data processing. Slicing and dicing, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll see it. We'll pick a feature each quarter and do a map and kind of do a write-up. One of the ones we were interested in is, and we did a couple quarters ago, was how many federal dollars is California sending to Washington, and how many of those are really truly coming back? Are we getting our full share back? And it has some very interesting results. Another aspect is technical assistance. This can be feasibility demand studies. As you may know from Katie's updates, we are doing that for broadband in the town of Paradise currently. Those results should be out in a month or so. We do competitive analysis, relocation of displaced businesses. We'll even set up a web interface so people can look at what are available office spaces or any kind of business openings. And we do also market profiles, again, that we kind of upload to the expert, Dr. Eiler. And then business and market assistance. So some of your requests, many of you being in industry, could come to us and we could do many of these things listed on here. Just marketing consulting, identification of potential customers, customer profiles, workforce assessment, financial readiness, social media strategies. I just got to tour Farmers Brewery out in Princeton, and that was one we assisted with. It was a super incredible brewery, so go visit them if you have the chance. Also, being part of that EDA University Center, we are funded to help so many businesses per quarter. So you can reach out to us. We can see if you fit into that funding strategy. And next to our GIC, Geographical Information Center. This is where I got my start. I started as an intern in 1997 and worked my way through the ranks until now. President Hutchinson, at the time, Dean Hutchinson appointed me interim director, and then I hopefully, I guess, approved myself, became director, and have been moving since and grew the organization quite a bit since then. Within that organization, we are a pretty classic GIS data shop. We do GIS collection, analysis, web-based stuff, and the picture you're seeing here is a project that had never been done before, which kind of amazed me. But so when a human falls in the river, they just guess where to go looking. So we were doing studies with different bodies that's floating in the bottom, floating in the middle, floating on the top, and seeing how far they go. And we're modeling that. So hopefully we can model that on any river in the world. And we're teamed with our College of BSS for that and anthropology department. And it's a pretty exciting project. Some of the online development, we were part of the 2009 AURA agreement with California State to do interactive mapping. This is really what aligns beautifully with our consortia work in broadband. So if you have anything broadband questions, please ask. I probably, unfortunately, know. But we have online development. We were kind of first early adopters to putting stuff on the web. As you see now, your smartphones, everything is really going to be web-based. It's all GIS active somehow. Location services. We do a lot of statistical analysis and data manipulation as well. And that includes asset collection. One of those things we're doing with the town of, or Rebuild Paradise, is we put up some LiDAR so we could quickly go in to see what kind of further surveying would be needed, seeing if we could leverage surveys to help the residents there get maybe a more bang for the buck if we could do 5 surveys in all together. So anything we could to stand up and people could look in to see where the rebuilds were, where the applications were being pulled. A little bit further than that, a lot of data analytics and change and modeling. Do I have time check? I know I started later than I thought I was going to.
You're doing okay.
Okay, good, thank you. And that's another aspect, research. So that's, again, I reach out to each of the colleges on the university campus, even our community colleges, and kind of listen to the research needs and try to find some non-traditional funding and see where we can partner, see if we can align them with some of not only our sister CSU colleges that we have good partnerships with, or just some of our funding agencies. Again, this was our latest visit with our president and provost, and to some of our side channels project, which has started the first salmonoid research. And we're opening up some traditionally closed or classically closed side channels and getting some lower flow in there so the salmonoids can start breeding there. And one of the very first side channels opened, someone scuba dived like 2 days later and they already saw a little fry in there. It was pretty exciting. Where's my cursor at? Vegetation mapping. We are en route to finally map the entire state. This is good for the conservation planning. We just finished an update so Department of Water Resources can do their next flood management plan. This means a lot to everything from your insurance rates to just the general plan of land use. It's also good for habitat restoration, but more than that, we can also go into your documents if you need to do a NEPA or CEQA or any kind of construction you are planning. And we also use it for restoration mapping and agricultural plots. Excuse me. And then kind of our core was GIS for local government. This we do everything from helping CAL FIRE or local police departments update for their better response times into their CAD systems. We use it for community and planning development support, general land use, asset management, and emergency services. We help start most of the GIS within our region. City and counties GIS kind of started with us, which was also pretty exciting. And quickly, I'll get through our consortia. Consortia started in 2008 as a needs assessment, and I was traveling around our 12 counties, and I was talking broadband and kind of just trying to feel what the need was. Unfortunately, some of our leadership really believed that in Sacramento really believed that we lived out here because we didn't want to be included with them And so if we lived even farther out, not just Chico, but we live like maybe in Modoc, we didn't want internet. We wanted to just be away from everybody. So it was a long road to convince that, no, these are great economies up here. You know, we have some of the best agriculture. I think working with in Woodland, there's a kind of a startup ag lab, and at the time I was told that the Midwest, I think it's $700 an acre is what their agriculture goes for, is valued, and ours is $7,000 an acre is what our value is. So we're pretty critical in the world economy for ag, but not just that, just our general economic development and economy of scale, especially if things might be changing even further with e-commerce and everything else. Broadband is critical. So we're extremely lacking, as I'm sure you all are aware. So that turned into the consortia, which is, its job is to advocate, and I'll just go to the next slide so you can see, so we really did the analysis of where are the needs. This feeds into the California map. It also feeds into the FCC's map. We do community asset inventory. We help with policy. Our biggest two things we've been working on, I don't know if you've heard that downtown Reading is doing their own fiber network, and that was some of the engineering that we did and helped them start off that project. We're doing with Paradise, trying to get fiber in the ground. We're currently working with Lake County, who finally has adopted, all city in the county all adopted a dig once policy. So every time the ground is open, there's a policy to put some fiber communications in there. We're trying to really work with these things to improve this next work. And we're also working with RCRC again to try and open up, maybe open up some more ideas to do some of these open fiber networks. And with that, we also help and assist local ISPs in funding projects. So in the 2019 round, we did 20+ million, which went kind of into our northeast counties. And then this last round, we applied for over 65 million. Which was almost all 12 of our counties. So we are pushing the envelope forward. Unfortunately, it's a very long road, but we are making headway. And so each success is very welcomed. But it's been a long road. It's been a long road from back to when I was doing my needs assessment, where I would ask some folks, and I did get some who were like, what is the internet? And I would say, well, you can send your grandkids pictures, and so they liked that. But here we are, fast forward 11 years, look where we're now. So I think we're pretty sure everyone's aware of the need, especially now with kids at home. A little bit more government has to be at home. We need more bigger need for distance healthcare. So this is where we're trying to continue to push that forward and help. And again, well connected with the California Broadband Council, and now connected with California Forward, and that's California Broadband Plan that's rolling out and should be also done by November or December. So I think with that, thank you again. I'll remind you again about November, going to our website, and November's free event. Dr. Eiler will give an actual economic analysis of the North State region, and you can see kind of where his projections are. And then again in January, we'll get another update from him, and we'll be talking about real estate and e-commerce. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. You guys provide a very valuable service to the region, and we're definitely glad that you're there, and hope you have a great couple of events coming up here. We are going to make a contribution in your name to Rotary Centennial Park to recognize your appearance here today. So thank you very much again, Jason.